What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Sundown Audio unofficial YouTube channel. My name's Derek, and we've got a very much impromptu video today. I had no intention of shooting this video, but in showing off some of our recent products online, mainly some of the new SDX amplifiers, and talking about some of the new tweeters, and talking about my install on my side-by-side and the Vex mid-range and stuff like that. I had somebody ask me a really good question, and it was in reference to will an SDX 200.2 adequately power some Vex, and I believe he specified 8-inch, but it was Vex mid-ranges. And so I started sharing my opinion. He asked some more questions. I said, you know what? I need to dive into a video on this because I think I can explain this really well. Not just verbally explain it, but show you in a setup I got here on the bench. So yeah, in my opinion, on something like some Vexes, so the 200.2 is going to be a little lacking on power. Will it work? Yes. Are you going to be happy with it? Potentially. That's opinionated. But will you want more power on those Vexes? And I think the answer is going to be yes. And so the very next question is, then what do you recommend? So versus the SDX 200.2 to power a pair of Vex 8-inch mid-ranges, which are rated 300 watts RMS, this is my recommendation. Let me set this out of the way. I'm gonna try and do this all in one take, so hopefully I don't move around too much for you. Let me slide this camera in here, and I'm gonna try and show you what I recommend. All right, so here it is. This is the SDX 100.4. So I've got the plate off, showing off the controls, so I can do some adjusting here on the bench. And we're gonna turn this on. We're gonna play it. I'm gonna let you see how it sounds. Now, first off, this is why I recommend something like the SDX 100.4, a 4-channel to put on 2 mid-ranges. All right, back y'all up a little bit so you can see me. Yep. All right, so why would I recommend a 4-channel to go on 2 speakers? Well, it's this simple. It's bridgeable. So instead of running a 2-channel, where say you're going to run a 2-channel at 4-ohm stereo, and you're going to get, say, 200 watts apiece, cool. You switch to a 4-channel and you bridge it. It's going to load it down a little bit better at 4 ohms, bridge into that 2-channel mode, and you're going to get more power. Now, depending on how you run it, you run different impedances, different amounts of speakers, and all that, but you're going to get at minimum about a good 50% power increase. And potentially, again, depending on how you run it, potentially as much as double the power. So for something like this, where the 200.2 isn't quite enough, I feel like you're going to want something like our SDX 400.4. That 4-channel is going to give you enough power. And so that's when I got in here and I said, you know what, let me just shoot a video. Let me show what this could sound like with something as small as our little SDX 100.4 on a Vex. Now, video or so ago, I shoot so many before they get published. I have other videos I've shot, but I shot a video comparing some speakers, our LCMR, our Neo Pro, and our Vex 8-inch. And I gave my opinion on it. The opinions through the sound of the video they were all over the place. Some people like the LCMR, and it's a $4 speaker. And for 40 bucks, that is a really good speaker. The Neo Pro is an awesome speaker, but my favorite is the Vex. It's what I run on one of my personal builds, and the Vex really didn't get a good shot. I talked about it in the video, and I showed where, straight up head-to-head with the same settings, the Vex doesn't get to shine. There's so much more low end. It just didn't get the shine in that video. And even after me adjusting the settings a little bit, I went back and I watched it, and I told myself, I was like, the Vex didn't get a fair shot. So something else I want to do here was give the Vex a little bit more of a fair shot, show it off, show what it can do. But I also grabbed basically one of our pods/cans, the same exact ones we run on our off-road machines, our side-by-sides, the same exact one. This one's just orange, mine are black, but it's the same exact one that I run on my Turbo Razor that I run Vex 8s in. So I grabbed one of those, bolted it in, and figured it would give you a really good example to seal up that Vex, allow the low end to really come out and shine, and it does. To add to that, I was like, well, I don't want to leave it lacking. I was like, well, if we're going to do a video, we're going to demonstrate and we're going to show off. I went ahead and grabbed a couple of our GT tweeters I got sitting here. So what I got going on is kind of a little 3-way setup. The front 2 channels are run 4 ohm stereo on our GT tweeters just to give us a little bit of that top end to fill in the gap. And the rear channels 3 and 4 are bridged onto the VEX. Now I'm mainly showing off the VEX and I'm showing off the low end. So somebody's going to be like, oh, but you got the GT tweeter making it do. Well, look, you're going to know that that top end is coming from the tweeters. That's going to be obvious. The loudness is going to be very obvious. It's coming from the VEX. And the amount of mid-range, it's about to dial in. So let me slide this camera in. And we're going to turn this on. Get my remote turned on here. Let me slide this camera in. I'm going to give you a close-up view. And I need to say this ahead of time before people start judging as soon as I turn on. I have the settings purposely out of tune right now. There's no DSP on here. No DSP, no fancy equalizing, nothing like that. We're basically playing with gain and crossovers only. So it's very, very basic, but I have them purposely out of tune. You're going to see why. I'm going to turn it on. You're going to kind of be, oh, it's blah, blah. And then it's going to wow you. So know that's coming. Don't judge it when you first hear it. Give me a second. I want you to tell this difference from somebody, even as simple as this, when we'd have no equalizing, just basic gain and crossover, how easy it is to get something out of tune and how much better it can sound getting it in tune. These are also really, really good high fidelity SDX amplifiers. Keep that in mind. So let me slide you in here. Bear with me. Bear with me. Yeah, I think that'll work right there. All right, now I'm gonna try and talk over this. It's so loud, I'm not sure you're gonna hear me on the camera, but I'm gonna try to. All right, let's go. Track back. Here we go. All right. Let me push this back a little bit so I can talk to y'all again. Bear with me for a few seconds. I'm doing this all in one take. So there you have it. Tried to move the camera around some different angles. Tried to get it as far back as possible as I could here in the room. But let me know, could you hear that difference from untuned to dialing that crossover in, bringing that low end out, letting this Vex mid-range shine? And what do you think? Was it loud? Did it come across on camera? Because I tried to talk. Maybe you got to hear me, especially when I was adjusting. Like you see, at one point I turned the tweeter off, back on. I turned the mid down and back on. I know when I turned the mid down, it got super quiet. You had to have heard my voice then, but could you even hear me? I'll have to go back and review the video myself. Basically, when I turned the tweeters off and had the Vex still cranked, I was this close. I was all up here. I don't know. We'll see if you could even hear my voice over how loud it was in this room. It's pretty remarkable, but that's it. SDX 100.4 bridge into 2-channel mode gives you plenty of power for some Vex mid ranges, whether 8 or 10 inch. It's gonna work well with both. If you want to run it as a 2-way, a 3-way, a 4-way, really good setup. And I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll show all this off in a future video where we highlight all the features of the SDX 100.4 and its abilities. But you know, an amp like that ran in something like a 3-way setup, with one on each door where you can get your tweeter and your mid and everything in there good. It's a really good setup with plenty of power, plenty of overhead. But that's it. Let me know in the comments, guys. What do y'all think? Vex mid-range, GT tweeters, SDX 100.4, bad little amplifier. And I mean that in a great way. I'm trying not to curse on the channel. But yeah, thumbs up, like, subscribe, all that cool stuff. The Sundown merch, hats, beanies, sundownofficial.com, and that's it.